Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really digging into debt, not just tackling it, but arming you with strategies to pay it off faster and maybe, just maybe, reshape how you think about money altogether.
Exactly.
This isn't, budgeting 101.
Yeah.
We're looking at the deeper stuff, the mechanics, the psychology, the little tricks that can seriously speed things up on your path to financial freedom.
Yeah, we've pulled together insights, looked at listener questions, our own notes, really trying to give you a roadmap that goes beyond just the basics. Because, the math of debt repayment, it seems simple,
Yeah.
but the human side, our habits, emotions around spending, that's often where the real challenge lies.
That's so true. And this deep dive, well, we hope it sheds some light on those hidden dynamics.
Definitely.
Okay, so first things first, let's really understand debt. I mean, really understand it. It's more than just that number you owe.
Right.
Most people see the amount, but they don't always internalize its partner in crime.
Interest.
Yeah, yes. Interest, that's the key, isn't it? It really is. It turns simple borrowing into this potentially long-term drain.
It's the cost of time, essentially.
Yeah.
The longer that debt hangs around, the more it costs you.
Yeah.
And with things like credit cards, it often compounds daily.
Bailey, people miss that.
They do. You end up paying interest on yesterday's interest. It inflates the real cost way beyond that APR figure you see, especially if you're only making those minimum payments. It just quietly eats away at your future wealth.
It really does. Let's paint a picture. Say, $10,000 on a credit card, maybe 18% APR. Seems manageable, right? But
Yeah.
only pay the minimum.
Oh, you could be paying for over a decade.
Easily. And end up paying back maybe $15,000, even $20,000 for that original 10 grand. It's like this invisible tax sucking away your potential to save or invest.
That's the core problem we're tackling. Understanding how interest works against you is, well, it's the absolute first step to turning things around, or at least stopping the bleeding.
Which perfectly leads us to step one. And it's less about just cutting costs and more about clarity. We need to talk about budgeting and tracking spending meticulously.
What I was just listing things out.
No, exactly. We're trying to uncover that invisible spending, confront the psychology behind why we spend.
That's where the gold is. People
Yeah.
usually know their rent, their car payment, big stuff.
Right.
But it's the little things adding up, those daily coffees, forgotten subscriptions. That's what often sinks the ship. Tracking isn't just numbers. It's like a forensic audit on your habits.
A forensic audit. I like that. It shows where money flowed unintentionally, often totally out of sync with your actual goals.
Exactly. So maybe don't just categorize as needs and wants. It's a bit simplistic sometimes.
Okay, yeah. What do you suggest?
Maybe think like essentials, the must-haves, value-aligned spending, things you consciously choose and enjoy, and then
Financial drainers.
financial drainers. Okay, so that's the impulse buys, the stuff you regret later. Precisely. The things that give fleeting pleasure but long-term pain, financially speaking.
Yeah.
Identifying those is where you can free up serious cash.
Because when you see those drainers written down, black and white,
It forces a shift, doesn't it? It stops being about, I can't have this, and becomes, I choose not to spend here so I can achieve this. It forces you to ask, is my spending actually helping me, or is it holding me back?
right. So once you've got that clarity, that foundation, then you choose your attack plan. And the two big ones people talk about are the debt snowball and the debt avalanche.
Classic methods.
And for our listeners, it's not just what they are, but really, when does each one make sense?
Good question.
Let's start with the snowball. You list your debts, smallest balance to largest, right? Pay minimums on everything except the smallest one. You attack that one.
Right. Throw everything extra at it.
Once it's gone, poof, you take all the money you were paying on it, the minimum plus the extra, and add it to the minimum payment of the next smallest debt.
And it builds momentum, like a snowball rolling downhill getting bigger.
Exactly. The power here is purely psychological. Those quick wins, they feel amazing.
They really do.
It makes this huge, daunting task feel manageable. It builds that feeling of, hey, I can actually do this.
And honestly, that psychological boost can be incredibly powerful. If you're feeling overwhelmed, maybe you've struggled before, seeing a whole debt just disappear, that can be the fuel you need.
Totally. It might not save the absolute most money on interest in the long run, but
But it hacks human behavior. If it keeps you going, it's effective.
okay, then the alternative, the avalanche method. This one's for the number crunchers, maybe?
You could say that. It's very logical.
You list your debts by interest rate, highest to lowest. Pay minimums on all but the one with the highest APR. You hammer that one first.
Correct. Once the highest interest debt is gone, you take that payment amount and add it to the minimum of the next highest interest debt.
So mathematically, this saves you the most money over time.
Definitely. Because you're tackling the most expensive debt first, cutting off that high-interest bleeding as fast as possible.
So avalanche is about financial efficiency. Snowball is about motivational momentum.
That's a great way to put it. The choice really hinges on a trade-off. Psychological wins versus maximum savings.
So you need to know yourself. What keeps you motivated? What are your triggers?
Exactly. Are you disciplined enough to stick to the avalanche even if the wins feel slower?
Mm.
Or do you need those snowball victories to stay in the game? Knowing that about yourself is key.
And whichever one you choose, snowball or avalanche, there's this underlying principle, this golden rule.
Ah, yes. The big one.
Always pay more than the minimum payment. Always.
Please, yes. Minimum payments are, well, they're a trap.
They really are. Designed by lenders to keep you paying interest for the longest possible time.
Let's go back to that $5,000 card at 18%. If the minimum is just 2% of the balance, maybe $100.
You're looking at what, over 10 years? And thousands extra in interest? It's crazy.
It is. But just add, say, an extra $50 or $100 a month to that minimum payment.
The difference is huge. You shave off years from the repayment time.
And save potentially thousands in interest. You're essentially buying back your future income faster.
It really highlights compounding again, doesn't it? But this time, working for you.
Precisely. Every extra dollar over the minimum goes straight to the principal, mostly. Which means less principal to calculate interest on next month. Which means more of your next payment hits the principal.
Yeah.
You start this virtuous cycle.
It's about taking back control, financial agency.
Absolutely.
Okay, so to boost that agency even more, the next idea is actively leveraging extra income.
Not just waiting for a raise.
No, being proactive. Thinking differently about any extra cash that comes your way.
So this could be side hustles, gig work.
Yeah, definitely. Monetize a skill, do some freelancing, drive for a ride share, deliver food, even just sell stuff you don't need anymore, old gadgets, clothes cluttering up the closet.
Good point. Declutter and pay down debt. Win-win.
And crucially, when you get a bonus, a tax refund, maybe even a cash gift, what's the mindset shift?
Instead of, woo, fun money.
It's debt killer money. Every single extra dollar thrown at debt saves you future dollars in interest. Think of it as an investment in your own freedom.
That framing is so important because the impulse, the psychological pull, is always towards immediate gratification, right? Spend it now.
Right.
So you almost need to pre-decide. Build a mental rule. Windfalls go straight to debt, like a firewall against impulse spending.
That firewall idea is good, especially when you're juggling lots of different debts. Multiple cards, loans. It gets confusing, stressful.
Yeah, different due dates, different rates. It's a lot to manage.
And that's where debt consolidation might come into play.
Potentially. Let's unpack that carefully, though.
Okay. So the basic idea is rolling multiple debts into one single loan, ideally with a lower interest rate overall.
Right. So instead of 4 credit cards at 18, 20, 22%, maybe you get one personal loan at, say, 10 or 12%.
The appeal is obvious.
Yeah.
One payment, simpler finances, and you save money on interest. But there are nuances. Are we talking a balance transfer card?
Yeah.
Those often have 0% intro periods. But then the rate can jump significantly. You need to be sure you can pay it off before that happens.
Exactly. Or is it a personal loan? Secured or unsecured? Any origination fees? What's the impact on your credit score, even temporarily? These are details you have to look at.
And the biggest caveat,
Discipline.
yes, if you consolidate your credit cards onto a loan, but then immediately start running up balances on those now empty cards.
You're in a worse position than before. Now you have the loan and new card debt. Consolidation only works if you've addressed the underlying spending habits that got you into debt in the first place.
It's about fixing the root cause, not just shuffling the deck chairs on the Titanic.
Well put. Which leads us right into the next, possibly hardest step.
The one that sounds obvious but isn't always easy. Avoid taking on new debt.
Foundational. Absolutely critical.
While you're working so hard to pay off the old stuff, you just cannot keep adding more fuel to the fire.
It's like trying to bail out a boat while someone else is drilling new holes in the bottom. Utterly counterproductive.
It means resisting those impulse swipes, saying no to financing that vacation, fighting lifestyle inflation if you get a raise.
It's a fundamental shift in behavior. Using credit cards for convenience maybe, paying them off in full each month, fine. But not using them as an extension of your income.
It's about breaking that cycle of relying on borrowing. living within or ideally below your means while you focus on repayment.
Without this discipline, honestly, none of the other strategies matter that much. You'll just keep digging the hole deeper.
Okay, so you're disciplined, you're paying extra, you're not taking on new debt, but then life throws a curveball.
Ah, yes, the unexpected. It always happens, doesn't it?
It does. Car trouble, medical bill, furnace breaks. And if you're putting every spare penny towards debt,
You have zero cushion. And what happens?
you reach for the credit card again. Or take out another loan, undoing all that progress.
Exactly. Which is why, even while aggressively paying debt, you need to build an emergency fund.
Seems counterintuitive, right? Saving money while you owe money.
It does. But it's crucial. We're not talking about a huge 6-month fund initially. Just start small, maybe $500, $1,000.
A mini emergency fund.
Yes, a buffer. Just enough to cover those small to medium unexpected bumps without resorting to debt. It protects your debt repayment plan.
It's like a financial shock absorber.
Perfect analogy.
Yeah.
It's not really saving instead of paying debt. It's debt prevention.
Yeah.
It stops setbacks from completely derailing you. It builds resilience into your plan.
Okay, so we've covered the mechanics, the strategies, but debt repayment is also hugely mental. It's a marathon.
It really is. Mindset is everything.
So let's talk about psychological hacks to stay motivated, because that drive can ebb and flow.
For sure. Keeping that motivation high is just as important as choosing snowball or avalanche.
So what works? Visuals can be powerful, like a debt-free chart.
Absolutely. Something physical you can see. Track your progress, color it in, cross things off, make it tangible.
Celebrate the small wins too, right? When you pay off a card or hit a milestone.
Yes. But budget-friendly celebrations. A special meal at home, a movie night, not a spending spree. Reinforce the positive behavior without sabotaging yourself.
Good point. And maybe curate your social circle a bit.
That can be surprisingly important. Surround yourself with people who support your goals, not friends who constantly encourage expensive outings or keeping up with the Joneses.
And always, always come back to your why.
Yes. Why are you doing this? What does debt freedom mean to you specifically? Is it less stress? Saving for a house, starting a business, freedom to travel.
Keep that why front and center. That's the deep intrinsic motivation that pulls you through the tough spots.
Exactly.
Yeah.
These psychological elements tie everything together. It's about understanding yourself, celebrating progress, building support, turning this big, scary thing into an achievable mission. You become the driver of your own financial journey.
Okay, so let's try and pull this all together. The key takeaways from this deep dive.
Get crystal clear in your spending, track everything, understand how interest really works against you.
Choose your repayment weapon. Snowball for motivation. Avalanche for maximum savings. Know yourself.
Always, always pay more than the minimum. Reclaim your money faster.
Use any extra income like a laser beam focused on debt. Bonuses, side hustles, tax refunds, debt killer money.
Consider consolidation carefully if it genuinely saves you money and simplifies things.
Yeah.
And if you have the discipline. But address the root habits
Stop digging. Commit to avoiding new debt while you pay off the old. It's non-negotiable.
and build that starter emergency fund. Your buffer against life's surprises, your debt prevention shield.
Don't forget the mental game. Visualize, celebrate wins, find support, remember your why.
It takes effort, discipline, time. No doubt about it.
But it's so, so worth it. Because when that debt is gone, your money is finally truly yours.
Which leaves us with a final thought, maybe a question for you listening. Beyond just getting rid of the negative, what positive things, what kind of freedom, what new possibilities does being debt-free actually unlock in your life?
Yeah, what will you build? What choices will you make when debt isn't dictating them?
It's not just about elimination, it's about creation.
We really hope this deep dive gave you a solid roadmap and maybe that extra bit of motivation to take charge. Here's to your debt-free future.